Welcome to Class Summit. So in this class, we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful skirt with side flay. Okay, not a straight skirt, but has a side flay. Now we're going to be using this fabric. So basically, we're starting from the very scratch to the finish of the skirt making. So if this is what you would like to see how it's done, please kindly stay tuned to the end of this video. Now I have my paper for the basic draft of the skirt. I'm going to start from the top, which serves as my waistline, and I'll mark the length of my hip, that is waist to hip measurement. Then I'll mark the length of the knee. In this case, I'm not using the actual knee. I raised it up a bit, so I'm from waist to knee, I'm using 18 inches. Then I'll mark the full length of the skirt. Okay, so I'm going to square these lines across the hip line, the knee line, that is where the tightening is going to be, and then we have the full length of the skirts. Okay, so on the top of the paper, I'm going to divide my waist into 4. I'm using 13 inches divided by 4, that is 7.5, right? Then on the hip line, I'm going to divide my hip by 4 also, and the mark. Now whatever I have on the knee, I'm going to minus 1.5 inches to get my knee tightening. Okay, so the hip minus 1.5 inches, we are going to mark the answer on the knee line. Then whatever I have on the knee line, I'll repeat the same thing on the length of the skirt. Okay, so while connecting, I'll place my curve this way from the waist to the hip. Remember, this is the front pattern of the skirt, so we are not going to be adding any dart to it. We're just cutting it like that. And okay, so this is how I place my curve, and towards the knee area, I'll make it a bit straight. Okay, now I'll connect to match up the lines. Then whatever I have on the knee, like I said before, I'm going to connect it on a straight line, as you can see in the video, on a straight line, because this is not going to be fitted and it's not stretchy. And of course, we're still going to be adding some flay to it. Okay, so this is our pattern for the front. Now at the waistline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. I did not show this here, but for all our measurements, for all our skirts, that is what we usually do. Okay, so I'm just showing us the actual knee length and how much I came up. I have said that I came down by 18 inches to get my knee length. That is waist to 18 inches, and that's all you need to get the length of your knee in order to tighten it properly. Okay, so this is all we have. And then, like I said before, I'm going to come down by 1 inch from the front waistline and connect it to the sides. We do this on every skirt pattern that we are drafting, so as to remove bulge or excess along the waistline. Okay, so we're now going to move over to the back side. From the other edge of the paper, it's going to serve as my CB line. Now if you've not labeled the pattern, this is the best time to do so, so that you know where all the markings are going to be placed. So from the top of the paper, I'm going to be coming in by half an inch. This is to shapen the back side. That part is the CB part, so I'm going to slant my curve this way and connect it to the hip line. Okay, this is going to help to contour the back side, the CB. Now my measurement is starting from the half inch. Remember I said 30 inches for my waistline, starting from the half an inch, right? and then I'm going to be adding 1 inch for the dark dart intake that is going to be at the back of the skirt, as you can see me marking. Okay, now once that is done, we're going to be connecting to the hip line. I hope this is making sense to you. Of course it is, and I know you're going to practice it. Let's keep hope alive. So I'm going to use my curve and connect to the hip line this way, as you can see me doing. Okay, now it's time to tighten the knee parts a little. Now you remember that the front we used 1.5 inches to tighten it. Now I'm going to divide the 1.5 inches into two, and that will be 0.75. So at the CB, I've come in by 0.75. It's remaining another 0.75 to complete 1.5 inches that we use to tighten the knee at the back. Okay, so the first mark that I took is not actually going to be the last mark, so you can decide to skip this part and then wait for when I'm going to do the tightening. But this is to show us the actual process of how this is going to come about. Okay, so we're making progress. At this point, if you've not subscribed, please kindly do so. So I'm going to go in by 0.75 from the side. Remember, I've gotten the measurement. So the same 0.75 that I marked at the knee line for the tightening is the same thing that I'm going to be marking after ruling the straight line at the CB side. Okay, so whatever I use for tightening, just rule it on a straight line down to the CB side. Now I'm going to mark the 0.75, and this is it. So I'll be connecting my measurement to the 0.75, which I came in from the actual line that I marked before. I hope we are following. Okay, so this is it. I told us I've marked something before. I don't know if I said it here. Okay, so I just have to complete the 0.75, and then we're going to be connecting on a straight line. Basic skirt draft or long skirt draft is just a simple something that everyone, even a beginner, would learn how to do it in no time. Okay, so I'm going to mark my using my bust span to get the midpoint where the dart is going to be. Now in between the dart, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides, and then um I'm going to come down by 6 inches to get the length of the dart. Okay, I'm coming down by 6 inches, and then I'll connect the 0.5 on both sides to of the dart to the dart leg, like so. Okay, so this is what we have for the back, the front and back pattern, and we cut them out. Okay, this is it. Now at the CB line also, I'm going to go down by 0.25. This is so that when we wear our skirt, it's not also going to be folding at the back. Okay, so I'm coming down by 0.25 to connect to the dart intake, and we are good to go into the cutting and sewing of this beautiful skirt that you saw on the thumbnail. So please, soulmate, if you've watched to this part a whole 9 minutes and you've not subscribed, I think something is wrong somewhere. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, like it, share it, and we'll continue to update you in every detail of the garment you need to learn how to make. So I'll put the front and back skirts together at the knee line to the base. right? Now from the knee line, I'm going to come in by my bust span, both at the CB and at the CF. Please, labeling is very, very important. If you've not labeled your pattern, try and label it. Okay, so that you know exactly where you're going to be fixing what you are fixing. So I'm measuring my bust span right round, and I'll use it to carve out where the opening or the flay at the side is going to be. Remember, this matching up of the skirt is done at the sides. Okay, that is where the flay is. So I'm using my bust span to do this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is to get my curve this way and round it up like so. Okay, I'll do the same thing on this other side, right? So what happens is at the middle, I'm going to be cutting it off and we use it to get our slash and spread. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have. Now I've placed it on the fabric and you can see how it is. This is slash and spread. You slash and then you spread to as wide as you want. So I opened the down and I slashed open and spread the down part and then a little at the top, which I'm going to be pleating. Okay, you can do as much as you want, you can do as wide as you want. It is just your design. I decided to create this for myself and I was grateful. It came out so beautiful. Okay, so I've cut the main fabric, I've cut the lining as well. So as you're doing yours, you're going to cut the lining, cut the fabric the same way. This will enable you to do a whole inseam finishing or back dart finishing or knit finishing under the skirts. But for me, this is what I'm doing though. But I later decided to change the lining to something else instead of using it to join the lower parts. I just folded it. Okay, so we're now going to be joining the sides together like this. We're going to be joining um the side of the skirts. We'll put them together before attaching the flay. Before attaching the flay. Okay, so we're making progress. Okay, so after joining, the important thing, like I said, is to mark or label your pattern. You can add a balance mark so that you know exactly where each part is going to be meeting together after pleating. But like I said, so we're going to be doing this. We're going to put the flake together one side, pleat it, and then fix it to one side. We'll take the other plait. You can pick, you can plait it and you can gather it however you choose to do it. It's just okay. In this case, I decided to plait it, okay, and then fix it together. You can see how it has opening. You can decide to use that opening to plait it, make it come together. You can decide to give it your own design however you choose it to be. All that matters is that it fits into the opening that you have and make it look very beautiful. So I'm trying to give it some notches so that the plating is going to have um it's going to align together, but at the end of the day, however you choose to do it is just beautiful. This is an open field, so no one is monitoring to see exactly. All you have to do is notch it so that you know which part is going to the front and which part is coming to the back. Okay, my beautiful people. we're making progress. And so, like I was saying before, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so. Subscribe, turn on the notification button so that you get notified once I upload a new video. And we'll also continue to learn together. So once that is done, you can see that this other part, I've put them together. I'm now going to take one part of this and then fix it to the opening, as you can see it happening. Yeah, I'll fix it like that to the opening, right? And whatever I do here is what I'm also going to be doing on the other part. And it's just this simple, just this simple. Okay, so I'll have to use my pin to put it together, and after which I'm going to be sewing it. You can see this is how it is. So beautiful. Did you enjoy watching this video? I know you did. Please kindly subscribe and um, watch this video to the end. So this is the main fabric. We're going to be having lining. We're also going to sew the lining this way and use it to turn the garments from the lower part. So we're just going to close the CB, which is the zipper area, down to the end. Of course, we're going to give allowance for where our zipper is going to be. Okay, and then we're going to use the lining, which we also closed, and the lower part to finish the edge of the garment. That is if you desire to have a blouse, skirt and blouse in it. Okay, if not, you can just wear it like that, and it will be very beautiful on you. Okay, so this is where we're coming to the end of this. After joining the lining, like I said, we're going to be joining the lining separately and then use it to turn the main garment. So we're just going to be joining it at the lower parts. We do not have business looking at it at the upper part, since the okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is to fix the band. Here we fix the lining at the lower part. If you do not want this type of finishing, you can just fold your fabric and top stitch on it. That is, just fold it without the zipper, the lining use that you use to finish it at the lower part. Okay, so just going to insert our band, waistband, and everything will be good to go. Okay, everything will be good to go once you start the waistband. So this is me showing how to finish up the waistline with the lining. Even if you do not add lining, you're still good to go. And this is also beautiful. If you add the lining, it's beautiful. At the end of the day, we're still good to go. So fix the band and we are good to go. That is what is remaining. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. This is our outcome.